Good afternoon and welcome to Alive on the Family Station. Love 101 Dean Smith with you inside the program today. Yeah, man. How are you doing? How are you doing? How are you doing? Did you watch the 200 meters this morning? Did you watch the 400 meters hurdles last night? Lord of mercy. Lord of mercy. You can't imagine that. You see that there is? Welcome to Alive. It's your afternoon program from 1 to 5, keeping you informed, inspired, entertained, and engaged. Coming up in the show, we have highlights in the news. Why am I turning the thing like this? Highlights in the news. Then we go to Menticize at 1:45. At 2 o'clock, look out for Prayer Blast with Cassandra Stevenson, Praise and Worship Director at Dora Faith Church of God in Retirement, St. James. 2:15, The Evidence. Marsha Ingram shares her testimony of healing. At 3 o'clock, we go behind the pulpit of Dean of City Bible College, Assistant National Overseer, and Pastor of the Ramble Pond Apostolic Church in St. James, Bernard Salmon. 3:45 celebrations, 4 o'clock Small People Show with Auntie Colleen at 4:40. We have some music and we wrap it up at 4:55. Yeah. Sister Colleen says she watched it. I tell you. Huge performance from Elaine Thompson-Herah. Fantastic, otherworldly performance from Karsten Warholm of Norway. The Norwegian last night, our time, was sensational to say the least. Now, we have to put things in context, and not everybody perhaps will understand all that I'm about to say, but I'll try my best to put on my instructional tone. The teacher's cap. World records are normally broken by one, perhaps two tenths of a second. That's understandable. So when Usain Bolt ran 9.69, as phenomenal as that race was, 9.69, the previous world record was 9.72. 0.03 of a second. When he moved from 9.69 to 9.58, a tenth of a second. You following me? When you move from 46.70 to 45.94, 46.70, you are moving 0.7 of a second. Effectively. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. 46.94. If he ran, he would have been in the final of the national trials here in Jamaica for the 400 meters for men. Perhaps he would have finished even fifth. An otherworldly performance. Now, understand this. Never before have I seen a sprint event, and I'll make that caveat because perhaps this happens in longer distance events, but never before have I seen a sprint event where places 1 through 3rd go below an old mark. Perhaps 3rd didn't go below the old record because that had moved to 46.70. But just a few months ago, the record stood at 46.78, and 3rd, in the form of DeSantis, 46.72. So just a shade outside the previous 46.70 record. Yeah, you might not like all those details, but I just had to do that. It's time for highlights of the news. We, of course, begin with local news. Police Commissioner Major General Anthony Anderson has ordered an immediate probe into the claims that a young woman's locks were forcibly trimmed by a JCF member attached to the Four Paths police station in Clarendon. 4 Haitian males arrived on a boat in Spring Gardens, Portland, shortly before 5 o'clock this morning. According to police source, the men were spotted by residents who alerted the police. The police also say they have been on high alert and have been monitoring the Portland coastline since the assassination of Haiti's President Jovenel Moïse on July 7. The 4 Haitians were awaiting an examination by the local health authorities. The Thanksgiving service for the life of veteran stage and screen actor Valia Johnson will be held on August 10. In keeping with the protocols governing such gatherings, the service will be a private one, limited only to family and close friends. There will be a viewing of the body at Roman's Funeral Home in St. Andrew on August 9 between 10 a.m. and 12 noon to give the public an opportunity to pay their respects to the late actor. In international news, an investigation into New York Governor Andrew Cuomo has found that he sexually harassed several women, including employees at his office. Announcing the results of the inquiry, New York Attorney General Letitia James said Mr. Cuomo has violated state and federal laws. Last year, Mr. Cuomo was accused of sexual misconduct by several women. He has, however, denied it all. In sports, Jamaican Olympian Elaine Thompson-Herah confirmed her place among the pantheon of sprint greats as she secured an unprecedented women's sprint double-double with a sensational victory over the longer distance, the 200 meters, in Tokyo. The 29-year-old champion surged home in 21.53 seconds, just 0.19 seconds off the long-standing world record held by Florence Griffiths-Joyner to back up her individual sprint double goals from Rio 2016. In other news, the International Olympic Committee says it is investigating 2 Chinese cyclists who wore badges featuring an image of the country's former leader, Mao Zedong, during a medal ceremony. A spokesperson said the IOC had contacted the Chinese Olympic Committee for a report on the incident. The pair, Bao Sanju and Zhang Tianxi, won the women's sprint on Monday. Those are the highlights in the news at this time, written and produced in association with Jamaica's first digital media house, My Jamaica Today. Only 3 clicks away and presented on the family station, Love 101. Yeah. Wow. So, back to what I was talking about. Karsten Warholm. I tell you, I can imagine somebody's thinking of naming their son Karsten now. That's how it goes, you know. I remember, the Neymar craze. How many babes were named Neymar when he burst on the scene, huh? In 2012, thereabout, 2011. I even know a Zaymar. Can you imagine that? Karsten! Yes, sir. But otherworldly. Otherworldly. Congrats to Elaine, I tell you. 2153. For me, that's the world record. 10.69, 10.61, that's the world record for me as well. Yeah, that for me. Not the IAAF, but for me, all right? Or World Athletics, as it's called now. I miss IAAF, you know. Yeah, I miss IAAF.
Yes, Pastor, good afternoon. Yeah, man. What's the latest morning? I thought, what, man? Big up to area, man. Congrats. And Shelly, you have nothing to be ashamed of. You did your best. You want to come in the middle still, but I just fell. I just one of those days. If you have a race run, I don't know what. All right.
Looking forward to what's going up in the rest of track and field events at the Tokyo Olympic Games. Really want a phenomenal run in the 4x100 meters relay, females especially. Not expecting too much in the males equivalent, if I'm to be totally honest. Happy for Rashid Dwyer in the 200 meters final. Life is very funny. Life is very funny. Now, I'm sure you all remember Sports Day. And it's so funny. Let me give you a bit of history. Keep on saying this. So I'm a track and field fanatic from primary school. Love track and field. Matter of fact, I used to mimic the greats like Hubert Lawrence in track and field coverage. So when I met him through playing table tennis, I was absolutely shocked. I was telling my mother today that I was like, he actually gave me a lift home after a table tennis training session. I was like, Hubert Lawrence just carried me home. Yeah, my ultimate respect to that man. Knowledge, trust me, second to none. But anyway, so being a track and field enthusiast, I was very aware of the different happenings in track and field. So when I was in grade 6, a classmate of mine actually represented St. Mary at the Sagicor meet, as at that time it was called the Blue Cross meet, inter-parish, and that's done in association with JTA, right? But prior to representing St. Mary, you had what you call divisional meets. And I remember Mark Graham, my classmate, since about grade 2, yeah. He came to prominence and ran the 200 meters at the divisional meet. Do you know who he beat in the 200 meters? Can you guess? Anybody wants to guess? He lost. He came second in the 100 meters. But do you know who he beat over the 200? A young man at the time, I believe, from Port Maria Primary, by the name of Rashid Dwyer. Yeah. So Rashid went on to Camperdown in a system that would have facilitated further development. That wasn't the case for my friend. So sometimes when you criticize where athletes go to develop, you don't know the outcome or the spoiled outcome. But I digress. I feel like I'm talking too much now, aren't I? Let's get into some music. Yeah, let's go to some music. But big up to Rashid Dwyer. First Olympic Games, first Olympic final. and anything can happen in an Olympic final.